Hi everyone, I'm Aqua. I am one of the leads at Studio PP, and I was a producer, developer, voice actor, and artist for BaeBash the Chaos Collection. So I'm here to just give you a quick dev commentary, talk about the references in each game, talk a little bit about the development behind each one, and if you're a new brat and you don't know some of the references, or you didn't catch them, here's where you can learn about them and go watch the clips and learn more about our rat Oshi. So, first of all, I just want to talk about the menus real quick. All these like menu elements, so the cheese and the buttons, and if I could hit settings, for example, the little banner, those are all designed by Perks. So they did a really good job here. A lot of the menu code was handled by Robson as well. And if you go into the main menu, right, the logo and the Bay art on the left were drawn by Arlus. And then let's talk a little bit about the opening. The opening was animated by Mikururun and voice acted by Miku, Avros, and Diagai. And then you'll also hear some screams, and those screams and those were done by Jiro Alterna. And all of it was mixed by Luca Chuba, who did a lot of the audio work for this game. Talking a bit about the languages now. English was the original language, so that was kind of what most of the dev team wrote in. For Japanese, we had Toarune-san, Jack-san, and Ryos-san handling the, localization. For Korean, we had Shrew. For Chinese, we had Kayama, and it was proofread by Sharky Doko. For Spanish, we had Mothman Layton. For Russian, we had Sayrex. For Brazilian Portuguese, we had Nicholas. And for French, we had both known as Chuck and Yuipa. If you're interested about some anecdotes about the French translation, Yuipa actually streamed the game right as it came out and uploaded the VOD onto his YouTube channel. So, go check that out. He streams in French, obviously, but, if you're interested, YouTube does let you put captions on a video and have them auto-translate into English or whatever your language is. It's not the most accurate, but it'll get the job done. Oh, and for audio, we have two different main menu tracks that you'll start with. So this is the first one. This was done by Luca Chuba, and it's a mix of Ohio S. Gozai Master. And then this second one is a mix of Play Dice, done by Amir. If you like any of the music in this game, both Amir and Luca uploaded what they arranged onto their YouTube channels, and you should definitely check them out. Those are linked both on the Studio PP Twitter and on the game's itch.io page. And as I was kind of shuffling through the audio tracks, you'll notice that I have more than just two main menu tracks, and that's because every time you beat a boss game, which is one of these three, you unlock their music as a main menu theme. Speaking of games, though, I'm just going to go over each game, talk a little bit about the reference that it's referencing, and then a little bit about the development history, if there's anything interesting there. These are ordered by when we made them, so let's start with Knock. And Knock is based on the Counselor's RPG, like it says there, by Kebi. And there's a cutscene in the Counselor's RPG where Bae in game, walks up to a tower and knocks on the door and gets jump scared when the door opens. And when she streamed the game, she had the exact same reaction in real life, where she also got jump scared. So that's what this is referencing. And you'll see, the live Bae reaction there is kind of meant to be that, and the scream you hear is a audio clip taken directly from that moment. The live Bae reaction was actually made by me, so that's why I'm here in the art credits for this game. And the rest of the art was made by Mad, and obviously the little pixelated Bae portrait from the Counter Strike RPG was made by Kevy. Next is Catch, which is also one of the first games that we made by Kaibo. And yeah. So it's a pretty simple game. This is a reference to the Yeet the Rat tradition, which was started by Yayoi Ken. And basically, he would bring a laundry basket, and we would just gather and throw small Bae plushies into it. Notoriously, we don't have the best aim, but for All for One, I think we got like 7, which is pretty good. This game also has a unique lose animation, so if you miss, he just gets really sad. Next is Press, and originally this was a direct reference to just the I pressed the wrong button sound clip, and that was it.
I pressed the wrong button! I pressed the wrong button! Oh, I pressed the wrong button! I pressed the wrong button! Oh my god, I'm such a fucking idiot! Oh my god!
But when Luca made the music for Press, he chose to use Bite Kamu Bite, which is, the song that they did Korone for Zodiac. And when Izumi heard that, she took it and basically based all the art around that. So, you'll see Bae in the suit here, which is her outfit in the music video, and it's just that kind of aesthetic. So it's a pretty simple game. You just press the buttons that are on screen. And this game also has a unique lose animation, so if you press the wrong button...
I pressed the wrong button!
Normally, you can get a bunch of different lose sound clips that will play, but for Press specifically, we overrode it, so you can only get the I pressed the wrong button sound clip. Next is Answer, and this is basically a trivia game where you just have to pick the right answer to the question. This one is Yuki. And there are a bunch of different questions that we wrote. The easy pool is, kind of basic. It's not really meant to trick you or anything, and there are a bunch. So each game has 3 difficulties: easy, normal, and hard. For this game, each difficulty has its own pool of questions, and the translators also did a really good job here of getting everything to work correctly. So let's try some hard questions. Oh yeah, okay, so as you can see, none of these 4 are the correct answer, and then a troll answer will show up. And sometimes it's the right one, and sometimes it isn't. And if it's the right answer and you don't pick it, it just goes away, and you can't get to it anymore. So yeah, there is one question I want to show off. Not this one. Yeah, okay, this one, right? So, as of June 2025, how many non-instrumental unique songs are on the release tab of Bae's channel? And it's phrased like that because, for example, we don't want to count Psycho and Psycho Instrumental as 2 different songs. We want to count them as one, because it doesn't really make sense to count both. But then we also have songs that have music videos, right? Like RRR. And RRR has the music video, and it also has the audio only upload, which I think is used for YouTube Music. And it also doesn't make sense to count those as separate. So that's why we had to phrase it in a sort of weird way to cover all our bases, but I think we got it. Oh, and the background music for Answer is based on Hide and Seek Nakayoku Kenka Shina, which is the song that they did with Pekora. Next is Water, and this is based on, I think for one of Bae's birthdays, Ina gave her a bonsai tree, and it was because Ina told Bae that, you know, learning how to take care of the bonsai tree would mean that, she would learn how to take care of herself. So, huge shoutouts to Ina for taking care of our rat Oshi's health. So yeah, you just gotta... Oh, and you can also drown the plant if you pour too much water on it. So yeah, you just need to water the right amount, and it'll bloom, and you win. And if you don't, then you just instantly lose. Next is Find Bae, which has actually a pretty interesting development history, even though the game itself is kind of basic. Not really a Bae reference here, other than, the faces that she's hiding with. So for easy, it's just all of Councilress. So you got like Sana, Iris, Fauna, Mume, Crony, and then obviously Bae herself. For normal, we have Chattercast. So, Callie, Bibu, Iris, and Bae. And then for hard, we have Hollow Red, which is Liz, Marine, Ollie, Iris, and Bae somewhere. I have no idea. But yeah, hard is kind of a run killer, just because there's so much red, it could be hard to really see her. Yes. Yeah. The one thing that does help is that Bae moves slower than the rest of the sprites, so it helps in that way to kind of differentiate her, because she's not a part of the pattern. But even then, it's just a lot of red. So, Hollow Red, that hard difficulty, that was originally what it was supposed to be for all of the difficulties, and the sprites were also a lot smaller. And the idea was we would increase the density of sprites as the difficulty increased. But Hollow Red became way too hard, and it turned out that the smaller sprites were actually also making it harder. So we were like, okay, let's make a Chattercast version, right? So we bumped Hollow Red to medium and hard, and then put Chattercast as easy. But then it was still too hard, so that was like, okay, let's make Councilress, because Councilress, everyone's a different color, and, that should sort it out. Oh, and the music for Water was 818, and the music for Find Bae was Feast, but, sort of a Baldi's Basic kind of thing. Next is Fight, and for Fight, we actually came up with Fight a while back, like in the process of making Knock and Catch and Press, but we couldn't really figure out a reason to put like a fighting game input game in a Bae anniversary game, because there's like, she doesn't play fighting games, right? But then she got the Fight Stick from Capcom, and then she played Power Stone on the Capcom stream, and then she played Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and we're like, okay, that was all we needed. And originally that was the only reference, but when Tyler fans started doing the art, they made it about Bae and Cece, and they referenced the coffee versus tea stream, which is actually really cool. So it's like a double reference now. And the song is obviously the fight song, and then you do the input, and she does a wake up DP, or whatever it is. just like with Answer, the different difficulties have a different pool of inputs it can ask you to do. So right now for easy, these are all pretty standard, right? Like a quarter circle or a DP. But if you pick hard, right, it'll ask you to do more interesting inputs. Like this is a... This... Well, okay, there's also a lose animation, which is, you know, CC attacking Bae. But yeah, this is basically a strive. Yeah, this is basically a strive super. It can also ask you to do, if it will show it. Yeah, okay, so this is a pretzel input. So yeah, it might ask you to do that too, and that's our little Easter egg. Originally, when we were making the game, in fighting games, when they show you your inputs, they can have like a little like circle, and it'll show like a trail of where your control stick is going, so you can see what inputs are being registered. And we had that in this game originally, but when we were putting the art in, it became kind of difficult because we didn't really know where to put it. So we just removed it, and I think it works fine. Next is Jadon. And Jadon, you know, obviously a reference to the Jadon My Soul pose. So you just gotta crouch down and you Jadon. You gotta hold this, and you know you're in the threshold when the crowd behind starts cheering and you hear the cheer sound. But, you know, you can Jadon a little too hard and you fall over. Or you can Jadon not enough and you fall over the other way. So yeah, this game. So the cheers in this game are made up of a couple different brats. You can see them on screen here. It was Luca, Jiro, and me. Next is Grab, and Grab is kind of directly based off of a WarioWare game, but it's also based on the VR chat outfit, Strawberry Bae. Right, so the gimmick is you're grabbing strawberry milk as Strawberry Bae, and the song is Ohio Eskazai Master. The snap at the beginning will tell you, what direction the bottle is coming, and there's a spark on the table that tells you, where you should aim for the ball to be when you grab, and then Bae will reach out with the hyper-realistic hand. So yeah, that's Grab. There is also a chance for, on the harder difficulties, there's a chance for you to get trolled, and for the bottle to come in the wrong direction and then stop, and if you try to grab it, you're screwed. Yep, like that. And then the bottles can crash into each other, and that's a lose. There's also a different loss animation if you grab at the wrong time, which is that. So yeah. Next is Plague. And Plague is a reference to Don 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 Don, which is a Mume song. And in the music video, there's a scene where there's a village that basically has the plague, and Bae is kind of there. And the reference is in real life, when the plague happened, the rats were the ones spreading it. So that's what this is. So you just gotta go into the houses and quote-unquote plague them.
Let's go!
Yeah. You can also talk to Mume in this game, and that will change the BGM to a more upbeat version of A New Start.
Bro.
And additionally, if you talk to her, there is a chance that there's a chance that that happens. The BGM stops.
Absolutely
And
appalling.
yeah. You'll also notice, right, that for this game, so the desk can change on every game. So there's a couple different desks
Yes,
that it
yes,
can
yes,
be.
yes, yes, yes.
But for this game, it's always Mume under the table. So, you know, you can see Mume, like, right there, hanging out. Another little tidbit is that um, someone was actually kind of concerned that, you know, we're referencing like a real life tragedy, right? And that's, you know, maybe not great. So, in the Japanese translation, this is actually renamed to Prank, and the description was changed a little bit to, you know, match the new name. There's also another change that happened because of this. If you look at the reveal trailer, you'll see that above the houses, once you enter them, there'll be a skull. We changed it to a happy face, which is the same happy face that you can see if you talk to Mume. This next one is Remember, and Remember is based on, well, it's loosely based on the streams where they would, you know, study and have to memorize all of the prefectures in Japan. But visually, you know, it's lo-fi hip-hop beats to study/relax to. And the song in it is AM.
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, there's also a unique lose animation. Now the head and hands like that. And the desk at the back is actually Mikururu's actual desk. So you can see the Friends of Yubei, the brat with the goggles on it, and the Friends of You Iris is all like, that's all her stuff.
Yes, yes, yes.
Moving on, next is Trap, and this is a direct reference to her intro, you know, Steel Rose trapped in a cage of ice. So in this game, you gotta drop the cage of ice onto the Steel Rose. Yeah, and the song is Gekyuri. And this also has a, you know, little unique lose animation where Shunibe is like shocked instead of giving you a thumbs up. Next is Sniff, and this is based off of her stream where she played To the Moon, which is a, you know, really emotional narrative game, and by the end she was like crying. And so if you look at the background in this game, there's some stuff that references the game. So there's the rocket, the lighthouse, and then you just gotta mash buttons, so there's no like snot running down her nose. And the song is Mess. Yeah, so if you listen to it, it's made to be sort of in the style of To the Moon's OST as well. You know, that piano. Next is Crawl, and Crawl is based on the Promise 3D showcase, where they played a bunch of minigames, and one of them was Red Light, Green Light. At this point, you know, Fauna, Iris, and Mume, I think, were all eliminated, but they could still crawl around and annoy Bae and Crony, who were still in it. So, in this game, you control Iris, who crawls up to Bae, and then you get the shot, which is taken directly from the stream. This game also has a unique lose animation, if you don't make it.
Oh no, 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 no.
Yeah. Also, there are a couple arrows above Iris to kind of show like what direction to press to crawl.
Yes, yes.
Originally, we didn't have that, and the playtesters actually got kind of confused. They didn't really know how to control the game, so we added that. And the colors of the arrows are based off of,
Yes, yes,
I think, Iris's eye color. So yeah. Small little reference there. Oh, and the song is Our Promise, which is, you know, the Hololive Promise original group song. Next is Match Bay, and Match Bay isn't really referencing anything specific to Bay. It's just another kind of classic mini game where you gotta match the picture. Yeah. And Jeffrey did the art for this game, and he did a really good job. He basically drew all of Council Risks, so if I can show them off real quick.
Absolutely appalling.
That's Fauna. This is Iris. No, that's not Iris. This is Iris. This Okay. That's Mume. This is Iris. This is Crony. This is Fauna. And I'll show Sana in just a little bit. Yeah, so this is Sana. And yeah, you got every single member of Council Risk there. And if you bump up the difficulty, it'll just give you more segments that you have to match. So, like this. The song is Paku Paku Seibai, which is the song that Bae did when Hololive did a collab with Honeyworks. So yeah. Next is Place. And Place is just a game where you gotta put Bae onto the acrylic stand in the back. Fun fact, this game uses my real life hand, my real life merch, and it's in my real life apartment. So yeah. That's why I'm an artist for this game, because I have to take pictures of myself. This game also has a unique fail animation. So if I just move this out the way,
absolutely,
Bae will just kind of fall flat on her face. No song reference there. It's just kind of, you know, ambient noise. But you know, I figured like a real life game kind of fits in the, you know, surreal WarioWare vibe that we're kind of going for. Next is Jump. And Jump is based off of the RRR music video, as well as having the song in it, you know, obviously be RRR. And gameplay-wise, it's actually based off of, in Google Chrome, when you don't have internet, you get this, like, game where you control a dino, jumping over obstacles, and it's, you know, it's very similar. And then, you know, obviously if you lose, you get that animation. Yep, like that. Next is Shoot, and when we were designing Shoot, we were thinking about all the Hollow members that Bae was close to, and, well, okay, other than Council Risk and Promise, right, because we were obviously going to include them, but one of the other members was Toa, and we were like, okay, we gotta have a Toa game, so that's why this game exists. You just gotta basically aim a gun and shoot at a target. The song in it is Akuma, which is one of Toa's originals. And as you can see, there's like two different versions you can get. One that's, you know, a more kind of loud version, and one that's more like a heartbeat. Yeah. Next is Spread, which is a reference to Bae's Vegemite Domination series, where she would invite different people to come to the Hololive studio and make them try Vegemite. Including Yaga. So, yeah, that's what this game is. And I believe the song is Ride. And when you win, the animation you get, where the brat turns into like an ash,
Yes,
a
yes, yes,
nuclear
yes, 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 yes.
ash baby. That the little scream is done by Jiro, so shoutouts to him. Next is Bake, and this is referencing. There was a time when Bae was, really into making her own bread, so that's just what this game is referencing. And you can actually get a bunch of different bread sprites to show up when you win. Maybe. No. Okay. I gotta lock in for a little bit.
Witness me.
Yeah, okay. And you can get 3 different kinds of bread. You can get like a loaf, you can get a baguette, and you can get a croissant. And if you just kind of let the game go, and are too late, I actually have no idea. Oh, well, okay. If you just let it go, you'll just lose. But if you let it go, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get like a burnt version of the bread. And the song is Sweet Appetite, which is the song that Bae and Gura did together. Next is Sweet, which is sort of a double reference. So it's obviously referencing Spider Bae, as you can see in the thumbnail, but it's also referencing Crony. Specifically, it's referencing the clip where Crony, I think, is reading some supas, and then a spider lands on her desk and she freaks out. So yeah. The song is also Daydream, which is one of her originals.
Witness me.
And yeah, it's pretty simple. On harder difficulties, it's a little harder just because the webs are smaller, there's more of them, and then Bae will kind of come down and block the screen. So you don't always know exactly where everything is. And if you lose, you get this animation where basically you get abducted by Spider Bae. Next is Cook, which is a reference to a series of streams she did called Chaos Kitchen, where she would. They were basically hand cam cooking streams. This one is specifically based off of the Ratatouille one, where she, made Ratatouille. So it's pretty simple. You basically press a button to chop the vegetables, or fruit for tomatoes, and you just gotta.
Yes.
Okay, I got lucky, but sometimes brats will get thrown at you, and you have to not cut them, or you instantly lose. If you also, like this, that's a loss. And then if a vegetable makes it past you, you also instantly lose. When we were coming up with this game, we were initially kind of struggling on how to implement it. But we took inspiration from a Rhythm Heaven game called Packing Pests, which is a game where basically someone is throwing candy and spiders at you, and you gotta catch the candy and throw away the spiders. And we converted that into sort of like a one-button game here, where you let the brats pass and you press A to cut down on the vegetables. The music is based off of La Roja, which is, one of the songs in Zodiac, and was also the song that she performed at All for One. Next is Quick Draw, and this, again, not really specifically a Bae stream moment. It's just a classic minigame where, Kimono Bae is squaring off against
Yes.
Chuni or Cyberpunk Bibu. And this game also has a unique lose animation where Hakos Bales basically gets killed by Koseki Biju. The music in Quick Draw is based on Psycho and Prism no Maho. Next is Don't Move, and this one is based off of when Bae was kind of overworking herself, and then she took a vacation with Ina, and Ina kind of taught her how to relax, basically curl up in the blanket, don't do anything, or, you know, the art of potato. So, you just gotta not press anything. In the middle, you see like a little dream bubble, and this can show the thumbnail of any game. This is also a unique game because normally when games speed up, they last for a shorter amount of time. But for Don't Move specifically, we actually increase the amount of time to account for the speed up, and we also just make it last longer on harder difficulties. Obviously, if you press anything, you lose. No song reference here, it's just kind of ambient noise. For the next one is Slap, and this one is loosely based off of a New Year's stream where Fauna, Bae, and Mume were having an off collab, which is why they're in their kimono outfits and they have the Mount Fuji in the back. But the stream where Fauna actually slapped Bae is a separate stream, but we kind of just combined them. So yeah, you just basically press button at the right time and you slap Bae into like a different dimension. And if it's not enough, she just kind of holds her cheek because you did not send her flying. The song there is Let Me Stay Here, which is one of Fauna's originals. Next is Clash, which is based off of the Getting Over It trials, where all of Promise were kind of, you know, pretending to be different Naruto characters. They had Beiruto, you had Moomsuke, you have Funashi Sensei and Orochimaru, like Oro Crony. As you can see, you got the classic shot here. Yes. Yeah, you get this art if you win, and then if you lose, you have some separate art as well.
Absolutely appalling.
And if you lose, Bae gets Yamcha'd. The win art is actually a reference to the Holograw episode where Mume graduates. There's like a shot where Mume and Bae are lying in the grass, which in and of itself is a reference to a shot from the aftermath of the final Naruto versus Sasuke fight. So, a little double reference there that kind of loops back around. Next is Protect, and in Protect, you basically have to guard yourself against a bunch of seagulls. The song reference here is Boom. But the seagulls thing isn't a specific Bae reference, but apparently it's common on like Australian beaches. So yeah. Next is Dodge, which is a reference to well, the first part with Hako's construction is a reference to a video that the Taiwanese brats made, where they made a parody of the Majima construction anthem from Yakuza Kiwami 2, but made it about Bae, so it was like the Hako's construction anthem. And the second part about magpies is just, that's apparently just something that happens in Australia. Yeah. So you just gotta dodge all of these magpies. And you get the Akira slide at the end. The song reference was Psycho. Next is Balance, which is based off of her 3D dance stream, which came out right before Kagura, one of her 3D lives, as a sort of like supplemental video because it was in a weird time zone for some people and she wanted to accommodate. This game also has unique fail animations depending on which way you fall. So if you fall to the right,
Oh no, 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 no.
and if you fall to the left, yep. This game also, the song in it is Color, which is the song that she did with Watame. Next is Escape, and this is the last regular microgame. This is a reference to a moment in Chadcast where Callie and Iris were doing something kind of sus with their arms, and Bae just slowly moves off screen in sort of the same way that she's doing right now in the game. This also has a unique fail animation.
Absolutely appalling.
Yeah, where you get spotted and Callie and Iris kind of look at you. You can, if you want, move to the right. I don't really know why you would want to do that, but you could.
I pressed the wrong button!
Yeah. The song reference here, it's a mix of Play Dice, Excuse Me, but Could You Please Rip, and Caesura of Despair, which are all originals. Actually, all of the first originals of the three members of Chatcast. Finally, we have the boss minigames, which, as I said before, once you beat a boss game, you actually unlock the song from the boss game as something that can play in the main menu. So first we have Dance, which is just a rhythm game, and the song is Gimme More. So the reason why Gimme More was chosen is because outside of this, I had a DDR phase where I was just really obsessed with DDR, and I wanted to try charting a song, and I charted Gimme More. And I just kind of ported the chart over, a few changes, right? Because this is TV size, and I charted the full song originally, and because this is an arrangement and not the original, so I had to tweak it a little bit. But yeah, the different difficulties have different charts. The one that is closest to my original chart is probably normal, but I would also really recommend trying out hard, just because it's a slightly different arrangement actually. So yeah, definitely try out hard, even if you don't make it to, I think it would be game 70, which is where hard dance would show up if you did a normal run. The timing windows are also taken straight from Love Live School Idol Festival, so I don't know. If you played Schoolfest, maybe it's similar. It's not the semicircle input, but the timing is kind of the same. Next is Defend, which is a pretty obvious reference once you start playing it. Originally, this was actually a regular game where you would basically only get the evidence menu and you would have to select the right one. But we actually got way too many sprites, so we figured, we can't use all of them in 10 seconds, so might as well make it a full boss game. And then when we were making the boss game, we originally wanted 3 different scripts, so it would have one for each difficulty. But then, when Dia Guy finished writing the easy script, we were like, whoa, this is way too much. We cannot translate all of that. So instead, we just have it so on increasing difficulties, you just start with fewer lives. Hopefully, when Bae plays this, she voice acts it, because, that'd be kind of cool. And also, a huge shout out to Kaibo, who basically, wrote all of the code for this game, and basically got a working VN engine inside GameMaker. The final game is Shoot 'em Up, which is the game that we kind of teased at the end of our reveal trailer. So in this game, you control, a Sonic Gundam, and you shoot down basically sci-fi versions of the Promise fan mascots. This game also has grazing, which is when you basically get really close to an enemy bullet but don't get hit by it, and that charges up the gravity meter, which you can see on the bottom left of the screen. When you get above 50% gravity, you get to fire in more shots, and you get to use a laser, which makes you invincible and deletes all enemy bullets that it hits. So if you see me get into like a tough position, I'll probably try to use it. This game also has 3 different power-ups you can get. So Cheese here, which gives you a temporary shield. There's Vegemite, which increases your gravity. And there's Strawberries, which increase your score, which you can see on the top left of the screen. The song here is actually kind of a mashup of a bunch of different Promise songs. So you can see, so there's obviously Astro Girl, there's Rise, but there's a little bit of Let Me Stay Here, a little bit of Mume, and a little bit of Soteni Moyu, which are the Fauna, Mume, and Crony originals. You can see that the boss here is sort of a sci-fi version of a Mr. Squeaks / Bratz design. And this boss actually has different patterns in easy, medium, and hard. So, try it out. And then right after you get the credits, and this is the credits theme is based off of Kono yo mo Terasumono, which is one of the songs in Zodiac, as well as Astro Girl. So I'm also going Kono yo wo Terasumono. Yeah. You can also see the credits outside the game here, where you can just kind of scroll through them. I would recommend checking out everyone. You can also find them all on the itch page. And yeah, that's kind of it. I'm gonna also do a quick little run to 30. Show off what that might look like. And yeah. You can see that the desk here changes based off of it just changes every time you see it. So sometimes you'll see stuff on the desk, sometimes you'll see stuff under the desk, sometimes you'll see Spider Bay on the left, sometimes you'll see, the Easter Egg Bay, like right now, Easter Egg Bay and a bunch of brats under the desk, and a keyboard and mouse. So yeah. And after every 5 games, there's a speed increase. Yes. I also want to shout out Sharky Doko for doing the timer design for all of the micro games. They did a really good job. So big shout outs to them. And yeah, this run's looking pretty good. Not really expecting a lot of people to do this well on their first try. Obviously as a dev, I've been playing this a lot longer than most people, so I'm more used to all the micro games. But yeah, it's going pretty good so far. For dance, I actually personally prefer to use the keyboard, which you can pretty easily do by just pressing a button on there. The game will hot swap to whatever device you last input on, so that's very convenient for me. If you prefer to use controller on this, that's totally fine. This game works like other rhythm games where you can use both the face buttons and the D-pad, or whatever you set the directions to as inputs. And you can also do that for keyboard. So right now, defaults for the action buttons are Z, X, C, V, and those line up with the, left, down, up, right inputs for dance.
You could also play this on a DDR pad, and honestly, I haven't been able to try that yet, but I don't know, sounds kind of cool, you know?
Yeah. And then once you get a full combo, you get like a little sound effect. You get a different one if you get all perfect, but I wasn't able to. Maybe you will.
Yes, 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 yes.
You know, as you keep playing, you'll find like which games you want to see and which games you really struggle with. So for example, right here, Slap, I really like getting Slap because I think it's pretty easy. And there's some other games like that, like Press or Crawl or Clash. But you know, that changes from person to person, right? Like I know someone who is really, really good at Bake, but for me, Bake is a run killer, so it's all about, finding what you're good at and hoping that the RNG will accommodate you.
Oh, and the screen on the left will actually, it's supposed to show the thumbnail of the last game you played, but sometimes, as you saw earlier, it'll show Brat Yowie. That's just a little Easter egg, like right now. That also shows up in the opening cutscene, if you can spot it.
Yes, 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 yes.
And then at 20, we're gonna get Defend. And for Defend, I'm just gonna skip through it. I would recommend playing the game to actually read the script, because it's pretty cool. And yeah, if Bae plays it, hopefully she voice acts it. So, just gonna skip a. There is actually a little bit of unique dialogue for if you choose give up at the very start. But, I don't really want to do that right now. Also, hopefully you don't memorize these answers if it's the first time you're seeing this, because they don't change. And, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool to try to figure it all out yourself, like a real little court case. But yeah, once you understand what answers to pick, it's kind of free. You can also just go off and explore the map if you don't care about winning, or if you've already won, like I just did.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, I always like getting fight at these lower difficulties, because for me they're really easy, but I saw a lot of people really struggling with it, especially if they don't play fighting games, because, fighting game inputs are hard.
Let's go! Yes, yes, yes. Let's go!
So we're running up to the end of our little showcase, the last game of our demo run here. Normally, after 30, the speed resets and the difficulty increases, but you'll have to experience that for yourself. I hope you liked our little demo run and dev commentary for BaeBash the Chaos Collection. And if you're interested, go and check out the game on itch.io. Give it a little download, check it out. And yeah. If you want to beat my high score, mine is 90, but I'm a dev. I had a lot of time. Maybe, but maybe you can beat it. Who knows?
Kaibo, actually, one of the devs, spent a lot of time working on shoot 'em up, trying to get it all balanced and make it all fun and challenging. So big shout outs to him for getting all this working correctly and for creating a really fun final, quote unquote final game for the Chaos Collection.
I want to give a huge shout out to everyone in the Studio PP team. It was an honor to work with all of you. They were, all so nice and amazing to work with. And all of their links are on the itch.io page. In game, we just show their Twitter because, well, if they have one, because there's not really a lot of space. But if you really want to see where everyone's at, maybe like a Twitch link or a YouTube link or, even a Blue Sky, go check them out on the credits list on the itch page. Also, shout out to our playtesters for making sure that our game was not a complete buggy and super difficult mess when it came out. So thank you a lot to them as well. Huge shout out to Base Sewer Rats, which was the Discord server where we all, first formed and where we all worked on the game. And also thank you to Bae and happy 4th anniversary. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little dev commentary and demo run. And we'll see you next time on the next Studio PP project, whatever that may be, but we'll see you there.